January 8th dawns with a chill wind from the Gulf, rolling inland through pine and marsh, through the quiet fields where once soldiers marched home. It was 1815, the war's thunder still echoing far behind them. The Battle of New Orleans won. Andrew Jackson's men walking north with pride and pain in their boots. Among them rode and marched the Alabama militias, mud on their coats, smoke still clinging to their breath, telling stories of cannon fire by the river's bend, of dawn breaking over the Gulf with victory and loss in equal measure. They followed the same paths once trod by the creek, through land scarred by treaty and battle, where only a year before villages had burned in the final fire of the Creek War. Now the ashes cooled, and from those ashes surveyors came, marking the soil, turning hunting grounds into homesteads, and homesteads into counties that would one day form a state. Every step of those returning soldiers carried more than memory. It carried the seed of Alabama's becoming, a land born from both triumph and grief. Half a century later, January 8th came again. 1861, Montgomery was alive with argument, its streets filled with the smell of horses and ink. The secession delegates gathering for one more round of words before the final vote that would pull Alabama from the Union. The echoes of Jackson's victory now sounded different, no longer the roar of unity, but the thunder of a nation splitting in two. Flags hung heavy in the damp winter air, and preachers spoke of destiny and defense. Yet beneath the speeches, some still whispered doubt. Men who remember the price of war and wondered if history was once again repeating its lesson in blood. The years turned. January 8th, 1965. Selma stirred before sunrise. The pews of Brown Chapel filled with quiet resolve, the people gathering beneath Dr. King's voice, his call for justice ringing against the cold morning walls. They planned the marches that would soon move across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, feet carrying courage where once soldiers carried muskets. Each step forward was a declaration of another kind of independence, not from a distant king, but from the chains of silence and segregation. The wind that day carried both fear and faith, and Alabama once more found itself standing at the crossroads of change and conscience. And then came a softer story. January 8th, 1965. Selma stirred before sunrise. The pews of Brown Chapel filled with quiet resolve, the people gathering beneath Dr. King's voice, his call for justice ring against the cold morning walls. They planned the marches that would soon move across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, feet carrying courage where once soldiers carried muskets. Each step forward was a declaration of another kind of independence, not from a distant king, but from the chains of silence and segregation. The wind that day carried both fear and faith, and Alabama once more found itself standing at the crossroads of change and conscience. And then came a softer story. January 8th, 1985. The Gulf Coast woke beneath a sky no one expected. Snow fine and silent fell on Mobile streets, dusting palm trees in white, turning ship masts into icicles. Children laughed in wonder, and old sailors said they'd never seen the bay so still. For a few fleeting hours, the deep south shimmered like another world, a winter dream between two tides. dwell on the same bay where French explorers once dropped anchor and Jackson's soldiers once sailed home. A new banner was raised. Airbus announced its factory in Mobile, where once the sound of muskets rolled. Now jet engines would roar, steel wings taking the place of wooden hulls, flight replacing march. Engineers and workers gathered under the sunlight, the air filled with the promise of tomorrow. From musket fire to turbine flame, from Jackson's campfires to rocket trails over Huntsville, January 8th ties every era together. It reminds us that Alabama's story is never just one thing. It is the turning of gears and the beating of drums, the prayer before battle and the cheer before launch. Stand on the edge of the Mobile Bay at dawn, and you might hear them all. The ghost of a drumbeat from 1805, the murmur of voices in Montgomery, the hymn from Selma, the hum of engines waiting to rise. Each sound belongs to Alabama, each moment part of the same long journey. A people always balancing between earth and sky, between memory and motion, between what was and what might